Hello, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host Maverick, and today we're starting a new series, Yuukoku no Moriarty. Yes, the same Moriarty of Sherlock Holmes fame, although we'll get to that in a second. Since this is the first episode, as per tradition, I like to give a quick intro to my content. So typically I always structure my videos into 3 different parts. At the beginning I'll have an introduction or a recap of the previous episode. In the middle will be my blind reaction portion. And then finally in the end I will have what I call my musings section, which is basically a review of the episode or the series, what I liked, what I didn't like about things. And also I try to go a little bit deeper into the episode itself, point out any references that I can that I recognize, or how the world setting is, the mechanics, various philosophies if they do come up. And especially for a series like this, which is mystery based, I do like to do predictions as well, cook up some theories of my own, and then see if things actually pan out as usual. Those are all purely based on what I see within the episode. I don't actually read the source material of these. If I have, I will point that out, but I didn't for this one. So, with that being said, let's get into the actual anime at hand, right? So, this is the first episode. I like to go over all the basics first. So, this is adapted from a manga. It deals with Moriarty as the main character, which already tells you that it's taking more of an antagonistic side, right? And I do love that. I love works that feature the antagonist a little bit more, or, just not all the goody two-shoes, all the good guys all the time, right? I do enjoy watching an alternate point of view here. Now, the funny thing about Moriarty is, he was never actually that prominent a character in the original Sherlock Holmes series. Most of what we know about him, or most of our imagination about him, is mostly based on readaptions of the original Sherlock Holmes material, more modern day stuff, right? But still, it's nice that we do have this kind of character to serve as the arch enemy of Holmes. So that's all fun and that. The studio is Production IG, which probably most well known for Attack on Titan, and also doing Haikyuu for this season. I believe they also do what? Psychopaths? Is it Psychopaths? I kind of forgot, but most prominent is Attack on Titan, right? Although, how far this particular series is going to go down the action route, we'll see about that, right? As for the other stuff, in terms of the cast, we got a few pretty solid seiyus here. We got Saito-san, who's obviously a great seiyu, and then we also have Furukawa-san, which is also a pretty good seiyu as well. So we do have a pretty solid cast here. In terms of the staff, I don't really know much about the director. The sound director, though, I do know that he was the sound director for Boogie Pop, the modern Boogie Pop as well. And the sound is probably my favorite thing of the modern adaptation of Boogie Pop, so we got that going for it. And I think that's about it, right? The rest we'll just make up as we go, and so let's just jump into the episode right here. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I mentioned the original, the original short stories, but I'm a little ashamed to admit that I've never actually read them. The very original Sherlock Holmes stories, the Hound of Baskerville, and all that. My knowledge of it is mostly based on modern adaptations as well. Like, I don't know. When I was young, I read other detective stories. I just never really got into Sherlock Holmes. Ew. The final problem. This is the short story where Moriarty appears. And there we have him. Now, even though I never actually read the originals, I do know some stuff. Okay, so you can see that he's a math professor, right? Let me just make sure I'm recording. Oh, are we starting from the opening? Oh, okay. Let me just mute the music real quick because I don't want to get copyright struck. Okay. Are we actually going to deal with the supernatural in this series? I actually didn't even watch the promotional video for this. I just figured, hey, it's it's focusing on Moriarty, it's focusing on the antagonist. I want to see what it's about. I do have to wonder if this is actually a series for BL bait, though. With the character designs and all that. I mean, he's a very attractive guy. I gotta admit that. Alright, so what was that opening all about? So that was basically just just to say, oh, this is the greatest enemy of Sherlock Holmes. Are we gonna have a jump scare? I'm sensing a jump scare. Yep. Okay. Wait, so this deals with the supernatural? Hmm. This is a blood, so this... Oh, no, wait. So yeah, this is Moriarty, right? Locksmith, a hatter, and a jeweler. All craftsmen. So wait, is that Moriarty's brother? You called him Nissan, right? A bit quick to jump to conclusions, but we'll see. I guess that is true. Wait, so Moriarty was an Earl? Oh, he does have, you know, a coat of arms, so... No, wait. Who are you? Oh wait, or is... I'm a bit confused. Who is this guy? Albert? Or is Moriarty working with this dude? It's the same coat of arms, right? To the mansion which we saw Moriarty in. He wants to take action himself. Why are you the one out searching for clues? You got it from the other homeless boy? right? So now he's gonna take a look. Who would be passing through here? Wow. Albert Nissan. Okay, so three brothers. I do know that Moriarty has brothers. I don't know their exact names or numbers. Right, so these are three brothers. William, Albert, and William, Albert, and just Moriarty, I mean. No, wait, William. Ah! It doesn't matter. Okay. It's like, found ya. He's gonna go up. Yep. Oh, okay. William James Moriarty. I guess I probably shouldn't call him Moriarty. That's a family name. So all three of them would be Moriartys. Okay, so he's putting himself out there to make him move. He's basically hinting to him like, yeah, I know your secret. Right, he's provoking him into making a move. I mean, they're both, I guess, what should I call him? William? William himself isn't an Earl, right? His brother is an Earl. I was actually wondering if, you know, once you get into the nobility and whatnot, there's other games that can be used. In this case, however, I guess it's just purely using thugs. Is he trying to convince him not to do anything or something like that? Or tell him this is how you can get your revenge? Okay. I guess, so basically he's the Batman of London, right? A vigilante? I'm wondering if they're actually implying that the culprit did acts of sodomy upon the children. Crime consultant. Okay. So basically using a more direct means of covering. Okay. So I guess this is what they were saying when they said that he's still covering up for criminals and all that. So how's he going to? Well, I guess just leave him there. Alright, and this is the ending song. Alright, interesting choice to choose the very electro-inspired ending song. We still got... Wait, that's it? I still see quite a lot of... Oh yeah, and we see 3 Moriartys. there still seems to be a lot more to me, but alright, if there is more, I'll see you guys then. If not, I'll see you guys after this. So there is indeed some more after the ending song. So let's watch this in 3, 2, 1, play. I mean, he's bound to go missing, though. Well, alright. See you guys after this. Alright, so that was the first episode of Yuukoku no Moriarty. And I gotta say, I am not too impressed with the entire situation. In particular, I didn't really feel like the antagonists, the culprits, you know, the criminals or whatnot, really made, basically the story was a little bit too simplified. I get that this is just an introductory episode, but I feel like it does have an impact on the following stories as well. Especially for me, this is a first impression, right? So I will call out things as I see it. So let's talk a little bit about the entire portrayal of Moriarty here, right? So they are going for a, I guess, a vigilante style type of character. So still keeping him as a lord of crime, right? A criminal mastermind and all that. So they still keep that entire situation, but it's within the context of basically saying that, okay, so the only reason why he's being called a criminal is because he's operating outside the law, right? But he's still working for the good guys, basically. He's chaotic good, if you will. So I get why they are doing something like that. So still keeping his sort of a semi-antagonist, or I guess you can't really call it antagonist. This is more like an anti-hero, right? An anti-hero status here. And then also not actually encouraging people to do crime and all that. He's not a bad guy, right? He's part of the good guys and all that. I was actually expecting him I was actually expecting this to be more of a, okay, so how can Moriarty pull off all sorts of different schemes and crimes? How can he stay ahead of the police? You know, some sort of like a heist, a heist movie or a heist game, something like that. But I guess this method also kind of works, and definitely the setting that they're trying to go for here is one where they're trying to make him all refined and all that. You know, in Japanese they have this term Ikeman, right, which is a handsome guy, and that's definitely applicable to I guess all three of the Moriarty brothers in this series. You know, even making them part of nobility as well. You know, they got the looks, they got the charm, they got the posh, and all that. And yeah, by the way, so I actually think I shouldn't call them by Moriarty because Moriarty is the family name, right? So I probably should call them by William, which is the actual Moriarty that we know, the arch enemy of Sherlock Holmes. Albert, who is apparently the eldest brother here, and who apparently is the one who's holding the title of earldom. And then the youngest brother is, I believe, called Lewis, right? He's the butler-looking kind of dude. And also, I guess, in this episode, the one who did the dirty work as well. So, it's going for that. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's an interesting setting, and it's what they do with this setting that's important, right? And in this particular instance, what I didn't like was how they actually gave them the status of nobility, right? A peerage, especially of earldom. And then yet in this same episode, they made one of the culprits, they made the culprit of this particular episode an earl himself. So therein lies the first problem I have with this episode, with this debut episode here, right? So I feel like so let me just say, the culprit, the Earl who was the criminal, he definitely should have recognized who Moriarty was, or at least recognized that Moriarty is also an Earl, right? It's a family name for another earldom. we're talking about nobility in England here. There's not really that many people who hold titles. Sure, if the Moriarty family were barons or something like that, maybe it would be possible that the Earl does not recognize them. But you gotta know, this is literally their jobs, right? This is literally the jobs of nobility, is to know, all the other families and, know basically who's who, right? It's part of what they do. Sure, I mean, Earls in itself is already a pretty top tier nobility status, right? They're not barons. Barons are like, sure, you could say that I think there's a few hundred of barons in England, but you go beyond that. You get to the viscounts, you get to the earls, you get to the marquis, and then you also get to the dukes. I definitely feel like a regular earl would be able to recognize the family names of all those others. Or at least, in this particular case, because they're both earls, right? You at least need to know people from your same peerage, right? So, the instant that William went up to him and was like, hey, I am, what's his name? William James Moriarty, right? That Earl should have immediately known, oh, this is someone from the Moriarty family, and instantly recognized him, or at least started to give some proper back and forth between them, right? And even if not, okay, so let's first go through why I feel like this is important, because knowing that the person opposite to you is actually also of a nobility status, who has the same status as you have, and then also that changes a lot of things, right? And I do presume that the Earl would instead use some different methods of handling William. Definitely not just something as simple as sending his henchmen out to try and beat him up or intimidate him or even kill him, right? You definitely think that he would do something else. In fact, I was actually fully expecting William to go up to him using a fake name instead, because, like I said, if you said that he was Moriarty, the other party would instantly know, like, what the situation was. But even if he did use a fake name, however, I would still expect the Earl to do some other sorts of investigation beyond just, again, sending his henchmen out and then trying to kill William, right? They already established that this dude is one of the founders of this particular club. Presumably, he holds a little bit more power, a little bit more authority here as well. He could have easily went to one of the staff and said, like, hey, who's that guy who was just talking to me? I want to get to know him better, right? Blah blah blah. And they would obviously say, hey, he was referred here to by who and whom, and he's actually of the Moriarty house, right? And earldom, who holds the title, who holds the peerage of earldom, and that kind of stuff, right? And once again, knowing all that, I would presume that he would follow a different course of action. And even in this particular kind of situation here, right? You literally have someone who is completely unafraid of you, who just goes up to you and doesn't even do anything to accuse you or anything, doesn't try to blackmail you, and just say, hey, I know your secret, and all that. You'd think that somebody would be so stupid as to just come up and say something like that without having at least some sort of insurance policy, or whatnot. I mean, I just don't like it when they really simplify the antagonists, really simplify the villains and whatnot, to the point where they seem like idiots, because the Earl here definitely acted like an idiot, right? So I don't like it when they try to do things like that, especially in a series like this one, which is mystery based, which is investigation based. You really have to have a solid logic going forward, right? So yeah. Now, then again, to be fair, this is an introductory episode, so perhaps this is not exactly indicative of what we will be seeing going forward, and I get that, so I will still reserve judgment. I'm just saying that from this first episode, it certainly didn't do really much to impress me as to the things going forward, right? Maybe it'll make a change for the better, maybe not. Maybe the mystery or investigation aspect isn't really a big part of this series at all, right? So that's also a possibility. So, in any case, that's just my initial thoughts on looking at this first episode. The rest, even the investigation work, detective work, I mean, I guess I'm glad that they went through the steps and actually showed him trying to deduce step by step and gradually finding out who it actually was, right? Again, kind of simplistic, but at least it's there, right? Again, nothing too impressive, but no, nothing too major I have to say of that either. The ending song also was a little bit, I guess, kind of out of place, I feel. Yeah, using such an electro inspired track against such a sort of backstory, right? You literally have England, these Moriarty brothers, they're of nobility, acting with posh and class and all that, and then you got this kind of ending song to it all. I don't know. Sometimes it can work, right? But I don't really think it works in this kind of instance. I am reminded instantly of of a series last season, The Millionaire Detective, right? Fukuo Keiji, which did kind of utilize this same sort of music style, but because the characters acted in such a way in that anime, I feel like it worked there. Whereas right now, I don't know. I'm a little bit iffy on how they did the whole thing. And beyond that, also, like, they were really trying to lay on the I guess, horror or mystique aspect in the beginning, right? I feel like they overdid it a little bit. You guys saw me, I pointed out where a jump scare would occur even before it happened. I was like, okay, this is, like, way too obvious here. Maybe make it a little bit more subtle next time, right? Instead of so in your face. But yeah, in any case, that's it for this first episode. I will be watching 1 or 2 episodes more just to see how it goes. So I will see you guys next week as well. Until then, bye bye.